Assalamu alaikum, I'm Hamid Saeed, the International Image and Corporate Wardrobe Consultant from New York. Today we are going to talk about how the shirt should fit. Actually what happens is this, that even if you are wearing suits, suit, shirt, tie, you go to the office and normally you take the suit jacket off. So predominantly how the shirt fits is very important for the professional look. And let me tell you about the 4 areas where you have to pay attention in terms of how the shirt should look. Number 1 is the shoulder area, right here. If it's very tight in the shoulder area, the shirt is not going to look good, let me tell you that. It's going to look like you are constricted, it's going to look like you can't move around. And if the shoulders are too huge, too big, it's going to look sloppy, it's going to look messy, it's going to look disheveled, and you're going to look like you're not very well put together. So the shoulder must be right. Remember that. The second thing is about the neck area. The neck area is about the collar. The collar must fit you perfectly. Let me tell you how to test that if the collar fits you perfectly or not. You can wear a tie and close the button and everything, and then if you can easily insert 2 fingers in there, that means that's the right collar size. If you cannot put any finger in there, that means it's very tight. And if you can put 3 or 4 fingers in there, the shirt collar is very loose. So let me tell you this, for professional look, the shirt collar has to look right. Another thing is that the shape of the collar, what kind of a shape of the collar you should wear. If you go to a brand, if you go to a store, they are making only one type of collar type. So, what are you going to do? But the rule of thumb in there is this, that based on your face shape, that determines what your collar shape should be. For example, I have a longer face. So let's say, for example, if I wear a longer collar, that means my face, aesthetically speaking, from here, it will go all the way here. So that's not a great look. So what I'm doing is I'm spreading it a little bit here. So that means that this gives balance to my face. So it's not a rocket science, but there is a science in it. Then come down and you have to look at the waist, the chest. In the chest, it should not be again too tight. If it's too tight, you cannot move around. There's no mobility, and you will be like wearing a straight jacket. And so it has to have some room, but not too loose. If it's too loose, then again, it's going to look sloppy, it's going to look messy, it's going to look disheveled, and it's not going to give you the professional look. So it has to be right, having a little bit room here so that you can move around. Same thing is under the lats here, under the arm. If it's too tight here, you cannot move around. So you have to have a little bit room here so that you can easily move. And then comes the waist area, which is very, very important. In the waist area, it should not be like, the shirt is swimming on you. It's like too big. Believe it or not, it's going to show. And not only that, but also it's not going to give you a smart look, even though that you're smart. It's going to look bulky, it's going to look big, it's going to make you look large, and you want to look fit and trim. So make sure you don't have a lot of fabric here moving around. Anyway, but you need some fabric. If it's too tight here, then obviously you cannot move around. So that's another thing. And the last thing is about the tail length, means the length of the shirt. It should be long enough so that when you sit down and when you walk around, the shirt is not coming out. So it remains tucked in there. So that's another rule. By the way, another area that most people don't pay much attention to, that's the sleeve here. In the branded shirt or the ready-made shirts, usually the sleeves are very big. They're hanging here. And that's not aesthetically, that doesn't give you that great look. And also, it doesn't make you look smart. So what I would advise is to get a custom-made shirt. You can always come to us for that, and we can taper it for you. You see, nice taper. Look, God has given us shapes of every part of our body. So arm is like it gets bigger here, then it gets smaller, smaller, smaller here. And that's the way the sleeve should be cut. Last thing is about the sleeve length. Make sure that it's not too long, that it's coming out up to here, and it's not too short that you are always pulling it down. So the sleeve length has to be right, and there's the sleeve button here. And the purpose of this is that when you move around, you talk, you move your hands, and then if there's no button, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be your skin is going to show, and the skin, your hair and all that is going to show. It's going to be very ugly scene there. So I would say that make sure that you have a button here. If your shirt don't have this placket button, then have the shirts made, custom made to your preference, and make sure that you get the button here, and make sure you button this button. So this is another thing. Another tip, while I'm talking, there are things coming to my mind. If you have the, if you're wearing the cufflinks, make sure that the circumference of this wrist that's the right size, because I've seen sometimes it's like hanging out here, and the cufflinks are hanging out there. It looks very ugly. So make sure that whoever is making the shirt, if you will come to us, we will measure your wrist size and we'll make the cuff the right circumference. Also, you can make it a little bit more attractive and kind of like more stylish, and you can give a little bit cut here, things like that. There are different designs that we can do. For a great fitting shirt, you can always come to us. Here's our number here. You can contact us, and we want to make sure that you look professional and you look great, and you have your optimal look, and that's what we want, and that's what we can give you. Please call us, and we want to get together with you. Thank you.